Hey there, today we'll be taking a look at 10 indie games that you've probably never heard of, and this will be the 2019 edition. All 10 games on my list here are games that I have played before and I've actually covered on my channel. They are games that I think you will enjoy, and I had a great deal of fun playing them, and hopefully you will too. If you wish to check them out, I will include the notifications above each video as we get to them. So let's start off with Thimbleweed Park. Thimbleweed Park is a charming, quirky neo-noir mystery. Following a suspicious murder, play as 5 different characters to uncover the surreal secrets of the strange town of Thimbleweed Park. It's an adventure similar to Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion, if you've heard of those. The art style and characters and dialogue all stand out to make this adventure game one of the best I've played so far. Next we have Dashington. This is the Remastered edition from the mobile version. This is on PC. Play as Duke Dashington, a bumbling adventurer and explorer intent on saving treasures from collapsing dungeons. In this clearly retro-inspired platformer, you only have 10 seconds to complete each level before the ceiling collapses, and you dash your way to the treasure in time for some shiny loot, hopefully. Duke Dashington Remastered is a fantastic platformer, and I highly recommend you at least check it out to give it a try. Next we have a roguelike on the list. This is Tales of Maj'Eyal. It is a true roguelike RPG with tactical turn-based combat and very robust character building. You play as one of several unique races and classes in the lore-filled world of Eyal, exploring tons of randomly generated dungeons, facing challenging battles against a wide variety of creatures, and developing characters to suit your own playstyle. With a beautiful graphical tileset and customizable interface, mouse control, streamlined mechanics, an in-depth combat system, and tons of stats to delve into if you wish to, Tales of Maj'Eyal is one of the most accessible roguelikes around, in my opinion. If you've always wanted to try roguelikes but got discouraged by the steep learning curve in games like Dwarf Fortress, then this game might be the opportunity for you. It's got lots of complexity and depth, but presented to you in a more recognizable way, and does a great job of guiding you through the experience. Next we have Ironcast, which is a turn-based steampunk aesthetic match 3 puzzle game set in a very exciting alternative history, at least for me, a time when refined men and women in top hats and bonnets commanded gigantic mechs, laying waste to the enemies of the British Empire. Take control of the so-called Ironcasts and face off against an invading force in order to defend 1880s Victorian England. If you enjoy steampunk and puzzles, also mechs, then this game is definitely for you. Next on my list we have an experience. This is Abzu, a breathtaking underwater exploration game, pun intended, similar to the style of Journey. Immerse yourself quite literally in a vibrant ocean world full of mystery and bursting with color and life. Discover hundreds of unique species, explore gorgeous aquatic ecosystems, descend into the heart of the ocean to discover ancient forgotten secrets. But dangers lurk in the depths, so be careful. Definitely worth a look if you're into relaxing, soothing exploration games. Up next we have Super Dangerous Dungeons. This is a stylish, retro-inspired platforming adventure with Timmy the Treasure Hunter. Run and jump your way through varied and colorful rooms full of spikes, pits, and all kinds of deadly traps. Conquer the dangerous dungeons and reach the legendary treasure guarded by giant bosses. Not to mention the soundtrack is really amazing. If you're looking for a fun platformer, then I highly recommend this one. Very similar to Duke Dashington Remastered, a game mentioned previously on this list because it's by the same developer. They're both awesome games, so check them out. I've also got Bugs Must Die on my list, which is a frantically paced twin-stick action game, which is clearly inspired by 80s and 90s arcade shooters. If you like that kind of thing, sure, check this one out. Colorful, action-packed, and challenging, definitely. The weapon variety is extensive, and the progression system and abilities are engaging and satisfying. Definitely worth checking out. For our top 3 on this list, we've got Grizzland, which is an 8-bit platformer about fighting dinosaur-looking creatures, exploring the land to figure out your place in the world and what's happening to it. It creates numerous possibilities in a limited environment. It's a game with a lot of heart and soul poured into it, as you can tell by the aesthetic, the wonderful soundtrack as well. And it's a great little adventure if you're looking for a fun little game for the holidays or, well, in general. Next we have Minit, which is a peculiar little adventure game where you play 60 seconds at a time. You journey outside your home one day and discover a sword, only to find that it's cursed, and you now only have 60 seconds to live. Your goal is to make it to the next checkpoint within that time, and along the way you'll help unusual folk, uncover countless secrets, and overcome dangerous foes, all in hopes of lifting this rather unfortunate curse that you're now under. Surprisingly soothing for a supposedly frantic game in which you only have 60 seconds to live. It's well worth your consideration if you're looking for a fun experience that is easy to pick up. And top of my list we have War Sim, The Realm of Aslona. This is a strategic, text-based kingdom management game. Complete with simple but wonderful ASCII graphics, navigate the millions of different procedurally generated races, events, and areas through the many options of diplomacy or war. It's your choice. Your only goal, though, is to keep the kingdom running, whether you thrive and become a mighty empire, or fall to ruin. How you rule is entirely up to you. You may become a harsh dictator, charging people a tax for breathing air, or forcing them to wear hats, for example, a blood-hungry warlord commanding armies and mercenary bands on invasions of enemy lands, or perhaps a charismatic diplomat with a vast trade network and alliances. You can do literally whatever you want, but you must be prepared to face the consequences. And that's going to do it for 10 indie games that you might not have heard of, but are definitely worth checking out. If you can think of some more that I could add to a future list, or some that you'd like to suggest that I check out, feel free to comment below. Also consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content and you'd like to see more of it in the future. We'll see you again soon.